Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Number 1. Today, we're diving deep into a truly fascinating and potentially very valuable piece of American currency, the 2002 Ohio State Quarter. And now, we all know the U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program to honor each state in the Union, and over the years, it's created some of the most popular collectible coins in modern American history. But every so often, one of those seemingly ordinary quarters turns out to be an extraordinary treasure, and the 2002 Ohio State Quarter is one of those coins. At first glance, it might just look like another quarter. But there's more than meets the eye. What if I told you that a single Ohio quarter, just 25 cents in face value, has sold for $60,000? But wait, let's not jump ahead. Let's start with what makes the Ohio quarter so special, and then we'll walk through the exact features and errors that can turn this small piece of metal into a fortune. So what do you need to know? The 2002 Ohio State Quarter was minted to celebrate Ohio's legacy as the birthplace of aviation pioneers. On the reverse side, you'll see the Wright Flyer in flight and astronaut imagery, paying tribute to famous Ohioans like the Wright brothers and John Glenn. It's a beautiful design that captured the spirit of innovation, and collectors loved it. But here's the twist: most Ohio quarters were minted correctly. Millions were struck in Philadelphia and Denver. But a small number, a very small number, came off the minting presses with serious, eye-catching errors. And that's where things get exciting. Now let's talk about some of the errors you need to look for. First, there's the double die error, one of the most sought-after mistakes in coin collecting. This happens when the coin is struck twice with a misaligned die, creating a doubling effect on certain parts of the design. On the Ohio quarter, doubling can appear around the lettering, especially the words E pluribus unum or the year 2002. It can also sometimes be seen in the details of the Wright Flyer or the astronaut's helmet. If you spot that kind of doubling with the naked eye or under a magnifier, you might be holding a valuable piece. Then, we have the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin, called a planchet, isn't perfectly aligned with the dies when struck. A small off-center strike might not be worth much. But a major off-center strike, especially if the date is still visible, now that's a different story. Some of these Ohio quarters were struck so far off-center that nearly a quarter of the design is missing, making them highly desirable to error collectors. There's also the clipped planchet error, where a portion of the coin is literally missing, like it was bitten by a shark. It's rare, it's dramatic, and if it appears on a 2002 Ohio quarter with all identifying marks intact, it becomes instantly collectible. And we can't forget die cracks, cuts, and strike-throughs, all strange and wild-looking defects that happen when the minting dies themselves become damaged or contaminated. Some Ohio quarters have been found with large die cracks running through the state outline or with unusual raised blobs of metal covering parts of the coin. These are errors the mint never intended, and they make each coin one of a kind. And now, what makes these errors valuable isn't just that they're mistakes, it's that they're rare, eye-catching, and documented. Collectors don't want just any quarter. They want the weird ones, the misfits, the unique survivors of a chaotic minting moment. In recent years, Ohio quarters with well-preserved error patterns, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, have been making waves in the coin market. One spectacular double die specimen, nearly flawless and graded MS-68, was the star of a private auction and sold for an incredible $60,000. Yes, you heard that right, $60,000 for a quarter that someone might have tossed into a vending machine. So here's the big question: do you have one? If you've got a 2002 Ohio State quarter, now is the time to take a closer look. Check both sides under a magnifying glass. Look at the lettering, the images, and the edges. If something seems odd or out of place, don't ignore it. It might be more than just a curiosity, it could be a six-figure mistake. And hey, if you found something unusual, we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us what you discovered. Better yet, send us a photo, and we might feature your coin in a future video. Collectors, this is your sign to start digging. Check your change jars, your coin rolls, and those dusty boxes in the attic. That one odd-looking Ohio quarter could be the treasure you've been waiting for. And if you love uncovering the hidden stories and values behind the coins we see every day, don't forget to hit like, smash that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you never miss a chance to discover the next big coin story. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and may your next quarter be worth $60,000. Number 2. We're spotlighting one of the most mysterious and talked about coins in the 50 State Quarters series, the 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter. Now, before you go digging through your spare change, listen closely, because this isn't just any old state quarter. This is a coin that could literally change your financial situation. It's a coin that's caused a stir in the numismatic world for years. A coin that, under the right conditions, has sold for an eye-popping $56,000. But what makes it so special? Why did this quarter, of all coins, become a collector's obsession? Let's start with the basics. The 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter was part of the popular 50 State Quarters program launched by the U.S. Mint, and it celebrates the state's rich agricultural roots. The reverse side features a cow, a round of cheese, and a partially husked ear of corn. Sounds simple enough, right? But here's where it gets weird and exciting. Not long after these quarters were released, sharp-eyed collectors noticed something odd. Some of the Wisconsin quarters had an extra leaf on the corn. That's right, the coin that was supposed to have just one leaf sticking out from the left side of the corn husk actually appeared with a second, mysterious leaf, and that variation sent shockwaves through the coin world. Soon, collectors discovered there were two major error varieties, the high leaf and the low leaf Wisconsin quarters. In one version, the extra leaf juts upward near the middle of the corn. In the other, it droops downward, almost like it's wilting. Both of these leaves weren't part of the original design, they were unintentional additions, likely caused by a die gouge or a minting defect during production at the Denver Mint. Now, here's the thing. These errors didn't show up everywhere. They were only found in a limited number of quarters that came out of certain rolls and bags distributed in the Midwest, particularly around Wisconsin and nearby states. That means these error coins are incredibly rare, and they became hot property the moment the news broke. So what makes these coins so desirable? It's a combination of rarity, mystery, and condition. First, nobody knows exactly how many of these leaf error coins exist. The U.S. Mint never gave a clear explanation, and that only fueled the fascination. Second, error coins, especially ones that are visually striking and easy to identify, are in huge demand among collectors. And third, the condition of the coin plays a major role. A Wisconsin quarter with a leaf error that's been circulating for years might only fetch a few $100s. But if you find one in mint state, with sharp details and little to no wear, you're talking serious money. Let me break it down for you. If you've got a 2004 Wisconsin quarter, flip it over and look closely at that corn. Use a magnifier if you need to. Focus on the left side of the husk. If you see a second leaf either pointing up or down, congratulations, you found something rare. And if it's in excellent condition, get it authenticated by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Because here's the kicker, in a private auction, a high-leaf Wisconsin quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, professionally graded and certified, sold for a jaw-dropping $56,000, yes. That's right. A single quarter. 25 cents at face value. Sold for $56,000, and just think, there are still people out there who have this coin and don't even know it. So, the next time you get change back from the store, don't just throw it in a drawer or let it sit in your car's cup holder. Take a minute. Look for that corn. Look for that extra leaf. That little detail could be your ticket to a massive payday. Now we want to hear from you. Have you ever come across a Wisconsin quarter with a strange leaf? Do you have a story about rare coins or collecting in general? Drop a comment below. We love hearing from fellow collectors and treasure hunters. And if you've got questions about a coin in your collection, let us know. We might just feature it in an upcoming video, and don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about rare and valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. And remember, that next ordinary-looking quarter in your pocket could be worth $56,000. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and stay curious. Number 3. We're talking about the 2007 Montana State Quarter, and believe me, this one has a wild side. At first glance, the Montana State Quarter looks pretty standard. Released as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, it proudly features a majestic bison skull floating above a sweeping landscape, a nod to the state's deep Native American heritage and frontier spirit. It's rugged, it's bold, and it represents the big sky country with style. But what if I told you that some of these quarters, just a tiny, tiny fraction, have become the stuff of legends in the coin collecting world? That's right. Some of these 2007 Montana quarters have sold for jaw-dropping amounts, and one in particular has fetched as much as $50,000. Now, before you toss every quarter into a coin machine, you need to listen carefully because there are specific features and rare errors that make this coin not just collectible, but extremely valuable. Let's break it down. Shortly after the release of the Montana quarter, collectors began noticing something unusual. Certain coins had minting errors, flaws made during the production process that created unique and highly desirable versions of the coin. One of the most famous and valuable errors tied to the Montana quarter is called the double die error. This happens when the coin design is stamped more than once, slightly out of alignment, creating a ghosting or doubling effect. It's most noticeable in the lettering, particularly around the words Montana, Big Sky Country, and even the date. Under magnification, it looks like the text is shadowed or slightly blurry. But to a trained eye, that's not a flaw, it's a jackpot. Then, there's the die break or cut error. These happen when part of the minting die actually cracks or breaks during the striking process, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin's surface. Some Montana quarters have been found with large die cuts near the edge or even across the bison skull, giving them a lumpy, distorted appearance. While this may seem like damage, it's actually a rare mint error that collectors crave. Another known error includes off-center strikes. Imagine a coin where the image is misaligned, the skull floating off to the side, or the rim of the coin looking uneven. These off-center strikes are rare, especially when the full date is still visible. And when found in high-grade condition, the value goes through the roof. Now here's what really boosts the value: condition. If your Montana quarter is in circulated condition, scratched, worn, or dull, it might only fetch a few bucks, even with a minor error. But if you're lucky enough to have one that's in mint state, preferably graded MS67 or higher by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, that's when things start getting really exciting. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for error coins that are both rare and preserved in pristine condition. And in recent years, some Montana quarters with dramatic errors and top-tier grading have reached unbelievable heights in auctions and private sales. One Montana quarter, featuring a near-perfect double die strike and graded at an elite level, stunned the coin community when it sold for a mind-blowing $50,000. Yes, you heard that right, $50,000 for a single quarter. A coin that was once handed out as regular change, now turned into a life-changing discovery. So, the question is, do you have one? Here's what to do. Grab a magnifying glass, or better yet, a jeweler's loupe. Inspect every detail of the Montana quarter. Focus on the lettering. Look for any doubling. Examine the bison skull and surrounding features. Is anything out of place? Is the strike off center? Is there a strange raised bump that wasn't meant to be there? If you spot anything unusual and your coin looks crisp, clean, and well preserved, it might be time to send it off for grading. It could be the best decision you've ever made, and now, we want to hear from you. Have you come across a 2007 Montana quarter that looks a little different? Drop a comment below and tell us about it. Or better yet, post a photo and let the community help you identify it. This channel is all about learning, collecting, and helping everyday people discover the hidden treasures in their hands. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell, because you never know what coin will reveal next. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and remember, your next coin find could be worth $50,000. So keep hunting, keep collecting, and as always, check your change.